All right. Welcome, fellow classmates. My name is Brock Forrest Mahaffey, and this is my writing strategy demonstration. Like my intro music? Okay, where to start? My writing strategy, is the imaginative writing assignment. What is an imaginative writing assignment? It's where your students, instead of writing about a topic, have to place themselves inside to whatever they're writing about and describe it from that point of view versus from an outside point of view of research. So, how do you use this? What's the advantage of doing this assignment? Here's the advantages right here. I'm sorry my board's a little chaotic, but I'm going to walk you through it and it'll make sense in just a few minutes. First way it's an advantage is variety. You can do this with multiple concepts and multiple styles. I have 3 different styles of writing here. You have the biographer, the novelist, and the columnist. The multiple concepts, you can do this with history, science, English, the arts. It's kind of hard to do it with a math concept. I wasn't able to think of an idea, but if you can, bravo, but it's probably possible. Depth, extreme descriptive detailing. You can be as detailed as you want to be and descriptive as you want to be when you write this. There are no limits when you're describing something. It's like writing a novel. You get to go all out with it. Creativity, personal, imagination, freedom. One of the big spills right now going on in education people are arguing about is our students don't have enough creativity or opportunity for creativity. And this will give kids as much room as they can go with in any direction they want to go with it, as long as they stay within the parameters of the assignment. Challenging, competitiveness. You can turn this into a game, a competition, see who has the best ideas. Innovation, kids can be creative and think of things that nobody's thought about and how to describe it. Resourcefulness, you're supposed to be able to go out and find information from all types of areas besides just using the internet, journals, books, interviews, etc., which brings us to researchable, which is additional content understanding. The whole point of this is where students, this is a learning tool besides a practice tool, where kids have to learn it, go out and find the information elsewhere and then turn around and write about it, because you can't write about Canada if you've never been there. You have to do the research in order to accurately describe Canada. So that brings us to how is it effective? I'm going to tell you a story, but first, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm actually going to tell you 2 stories. First, I'd like to let you know that I actually have an audience. I have 3 lovely young ladies in here. They're total strangers. They're just in here listening. I'm lying, I know. Anyways, they're going to give me some actual live feedback from my stories. 2 stories. Story number 1. You've all been in the situation where your English teacher has asked you to do this assignment. Describe your favorite vacation. Everybody's done this. Probably multiple times. And how is half the class going to do this? I went to Florida. We rented a boat. We went fishing. We saw sharks. It's my favorite vacation because I like fishing. Boring, unimaginative. Okay? Story 2. Whole new deal. Spring break. We drive all night to get out to the beach. We rented a cabin. We go on the boat. We don't even sleep. We just take our breakfast out in the water and go. I'm in competition with my brothers and sisters and my dad to see who can catch the biggest fish. I got a big chunk of meat on this big rod and reel that's totally too big to be catching anything less than whales. I'm going to try to catch a huge great white shark. I'm excited. I'm out there all day. I catch absolutely nothing. Everybody else is catching stuff. I'm not catching anything. My dad's giving me crap over here. So whole day goes by. I don't eat lunch. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm totally disappointed in myself. We're about to start heading back. I start reeling in my rod real slow. I'm depressed. Someone throws a sarcastic joke at me. I'm retorting back with something clever, hopefully. And all of a sudden, boom, my rod almost comes right out of my hand. And I'm looking over, and my bait's right here on the side of the boat, and there's a 7-foot tiger shark. I don't even know if there's actually tiger sharks in Florida, but anyways. And I'm holding on my rod and reel. Everybody's coming over. This is so cool. We're all trying to lift this huge shark over the thing. I don't know what we're going to do when we get in the boat. It's too heavy. We don't know what we're doing. I think I'm clever. I get up on the edge of the boat rail, and I'm holding on to my rod and reel, and everybody's like, pull! So I pull! I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I'm about to fall in the water, battle this shark with my bare hands, teeth-to-hand combat. So cool. No, that's not what happens. What really happens is my line breaks, pow! I hit myself in the face, I fall down, the shark goes away, and I cry the rest of the way home like a toddler. So, out of those two stories, which one was most descriptive? Which one was the most appealing? Which one could you feel like you were actually there? Ladies?
Number two.
Number two. They said number two. So I hope you said number two too. Hey, how about that? Anyway, so that's the difference between being descriptive and not descriptive. Now, I'm going to give you 3 examples of ways to use this strategy, imaginative writing. But before I get into this, I'm going to tell you about why I'm doing this, because I am teaching Texas history right now in my student teaching. And most history-based lessons and concepts are based on facts when it comes to history, which is ridiculous. Everybody pretty much knows the who, the what, the when, and the where. That's what everybody harps on. That's not the true essence of history and why history is important. What's important is the why. Why? Why did Columbus sail across the sea and discover America? Why did Hitler brainwash Germany to kill all the Jews? Why did the people of the Alamo stay and fight when they knew they were going to die? It's all about the why. All the rest of the stuff is just basic first-hand information, recall, you know it, but to truly understand history and its value and describe it, you have to understand the why. So here's 3 examples. The first one I have, by the way, this says the setup. I don't know if you can see this right here. This is how you set up assignments. These are just 3 examples. You can do other types of writers, but you want to use things where your students will be actually there. The biographer. Who am I is the question. As an example here is, I am Sam Houston. If you're on a first date and someone at the person you're on a date with asks you about your life, you're not going to say, well, I was born in Houston in 1990. I went to Chester High School. I'm graduating from Tarleton State University. That's boring. That's like a tweet online. Nobody cares. It's useless stuff. When you're telling your story, you go into depth about where you grew up, what it was like, what was your school like, what were your parents like, what was your family like, what are family reunions like, what is your favorite sports, what did you play sports in school, did you play sports at all, did you like your teachers? I mean, there's so much more that goes into that than just that basic factual information about where you grew up. So if my students were going to do about Sam Houston, we could do it in the 3 sections: his early life, before anything happened in Texas, then after everything happened in Texas with the Texas Revolution and Texas becoming its own country before it became a state. So instead of saying Sam Houston was the first president of Texas, it needs to describe why he became the first president. Why did he not go help the Alamo when the Alamo was being attacked by Santa Anna and the Mexican army? What brought Sam Houston to Texas in the first place? That's more descriptive. That's imaginative writing. And the whole purpose is to not say Sam Houston did this. You are Sam Houston. You tell me why when you're writing. Describe it from your own personal view, why you're doing these things. And it takes research to understand all this information that we're asking for. Next up is the novelist, what it's like to be a Texan at the Alamo. The reasoning, why are they there? Vision, what do they think Texas is going to become? What is the purpose of even doing this? Their fears. What did they actually feel like when they were there? What are they worried about? What's going to happen next? When you were telling the story of your accounts of being in the Alamo during those days it was under siege by the Mexican army, you don't say, we were scared, we were afraid, we were hungry, bullets were flying everywhere. You talk about the essence of the smoke and the starvation and the fear and seeing the Mexican army get closer and closer and the noise of the cannons. You go into depth, but they have to tell it from a personal view, and they can't know these things until they research it. Last but not least is the columnist, what it's about. Take a topic. These 2 were more history-based concepts. This one's going to be more of like a current event type concept, but in still a social studies fashion. Texan pride. People say Texas people have a lot of pride. Where did it come from? Why is it everything bigger in Texas? Why is that, how Texas does it? Why is don't mess with Texas so, relevant? Why do people think this way about Texas? Why does Texas have its own personality that is so great and so awesome and everybody has a lot of pride? Is it about history? Is it about family and just living here and growing up here? Or is it about the modern mindsets of politics and world global views? And these are different things that they must do research on in order to elaborately describe the different points of view that Texans have about their pride in their own state. So this is a really good one where you can actually go and do interviews versus just researching and reading books and the internet. You can go talk to people on this one. You can think this can be a 2-week assignment, for example, project. These could all be essays or research papers. They could just be simple assignments, 1 page, one night, see what you got, go do a little homework and see what you do. This one, you can still do actual interviews where students have to go out and actually physically put themselves out there, and then they are, in fact, journalists or columnists who get to actually write about things that they actually did the research on. So it really puts them in a perspective of reality when they're writing about this concept. So that's the basics of imaginative writing assignment. And these are not the only things you can do. Let me say it again. There's all kinds of ways you can do it. You can do it through science, where you write about climate change. As a scientist, you can write about wildlife conservation, ethics and medical practices. You can go all kinds of ways in science. In English, there's all kinds of ways of writing, poetry, script writing. That's an endless adventures you can go on. The arts, you can critique pieces of art, theater, plays, movies, direction. You can write all these different reviews, or you can put yourself in there and what you would do and why. Say you are the film director, what are you going to do and why are you going to do it? But don't make a 1 page of, I like action, I'm going to make an action movie. Tell me why you like action. What are you going to do with that action? Where are you getting your motivation from? Be descriptive. Tell me a story. That's basically it. I want to thank you for your time and hit it. It's coming. And it's gone.
Welcome. You're supposed to fade out there. You're totally supposed to fade out, not press. Are you videoing?